So what's up with this show? Pondering on the Patio. You know, I randomly was sitting out here one day and I was looking out into this backyard of mine. It's the first summer that we've had it relatively the way that we want it, right? And realizing how beautiful it is. You know, I'm looking over farmland, I'm looking into trees, looking at this beautiful sunset, especially in the summertime. And knowing that I'm a person that likes to reflect, that likes to ponder on many things, taking a moment to utilize this space for my pondering. Because why not? Where the show comes into play, as most of y'all know, my name is Ray, host of the On the Micro 3 White podcast, and I have been pretty stuck with the podcast for a minute. And a lot of that is because I was trying to do a lot with the show, not just coming up to the mic and speaking, but then, you know, there's a lot of factors that go into producing a show, which is great. You know, you got the concept, you got the scripting, you got the actual recording, then the editing, and then the splicing for mini clips, and then the promotions, and then just the ongoing relationship building with people who are listening to the show. And then when you bring a guest on, then there's even more production that needs to be done to coordinate with the person, and then being sure that we highlight them in the highest of the capabilities, right? And I'm doing those things in the midst of working, being intentional with my family, trying to build a consulting, coaching business, creating content. It's a lot. It's all a lot. I'm not making excuses, just acknowledging that's a lot. So in the midst of trying to figure out what to do with this show, I got stuck and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then I just came out here and it's like, you know, the essence of the show started with me sharing stories and the lessons I learned from those stories. So how do I get back to that and leverage this platform as an opportunity to continue to do that? And then switching paces a bit, knowing that it's nice to be outside a little while, nice to change the scenery. So why not bring those reflections to the outdoors, hence Pondering on a Patio, in a bite-sized capacity. So within, 5 to 10 minutes, right? And that's kind of how this podcast started, or this series started. So Pondering on a Patio, leveraging the space. And then, now we're almost, over 10 episodes into this thing. And I'm like, okay, let's get to 30. I just threw out a number. Let's get to 30. Let's go to Labor Day, actually. That was more so the thought. Let's get to Labor Day. And how many episodes can I produce between pretty much July to Labor Day, right? July to September, since that's kind of when the weather is much nicer. And then we switch gears to going into school post Labor Day. And I was like, all right, 30 episodes. Producing them over the weekend. And do the 3 episodes from Friday to Saturday or Saturday to Monday, kind of just in that swing of days. And go with it. To build a habit, build consistency, do something that I can tangibly control, and then go forth and just get out of my own way. Get out of my way. Like, I'm overthinking things. It's not that complicated. You got a thought, share the thought, produce the thought, engage people on how they thought about the thought, right? Does this thought trigger some type of thought within you? This ponder allow you to ponder something that you probably haven't pondered or that you're pondering too, you know? So that's how this podcast started, or this series of this podcast started halfway through. So for folks who are coming into this engagement with Ray for the first time, welcome to Pondering on the Patio. And I'm actually intrigued to know what your thoughts about this, right? Like, I'm excited to do it only because it just allows an opportunity for people to get to know me more, the way I think, the way I process things. There actually were our aspirations of bringing a guest on to ponder with me on the patio, which, who knows, we'll see. But it's pretty cool. Oh, and the key component to this too is that this is all done on my cell phone. So another thought that I had about overcomplicating the production side of things was, thinking about cameras and thinking about equipment and just all the things that it takes to doing the podcast, which, yes, I say my studio, which is my office upstairs. It has the mixing board, the computer, the webcam, all that kind of stuff. But then also, I got the Adobe products like Premiere and everything. So it was this series is really trying to strip down to just like what's the bare basics towards sharing a thought to the world. Tripod, phone, microphone, which now I'm hands-free, and then a couple in-app software on the phone that can allow you to cut things up, produce it on Anchor, which then publishes out to all the places on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, all the things. YouTube, I upload the video on the YouTube and just keep it pushing. What's that song? Why does everything have to be so complicated? Is that Avril Lavigne? I don't remember. Dating back to middle school. But things don't have to be that complicated. It can be so simple, especially if you stick to the core aspects of who you are and look to the ways to then share that with the resources that you currently have. And if I get to the foundation of what Pondering on a Patio is, it is sharing life lessons and self-reflection and equipping you to take action with the essential things necessary to share that mission. And that's kind of cool. I mean, it took halfway through Pondering on a Patio to get to this point, but sometimes you just gotta start and you figure it out along the way. So I would love for you to think through that thing that is the thing that you want to do, or what is that barrier that is hindering you from taking action, and how can you identify what that barrier is, but remove the fog or remove the pieces to get to the essential reason or the root to what you want to do. And then look around you to see what you have in your resources within your control to make that happen. And then be disciplined and consistent to doing it with those particular resources. Because the longer you wait, the longer you try to overcomplicate the process, the longer you make excuses or lean on those reasons as a crutch for you to not get started, it's just going to continue to eat you up inside. But then also, people won't be able to see your gifts and engage with those gifts, and you won't be able. It will just delay the opportunity for you to continuously improve and develop along the way. Let's not overcomplicate what it would take for us to reach our goals. Let's define what it is that we want to accomplish and do, and find the simplest way to get it done, knowing that you always have the opportunity to iterate from there. And share with me, what does that look like for you? Tell me, what are you looking to do and how are you looking to get it done? Because another thing that can also hinder us is support and relationships or accountability towards doing the thing that we said we want to do. So if you need some accountability, if you need some help with that, holla at me. Holla at your boy, at Ray Devontae on all social media platforms. Shoot me a DM. Let me know what you're working on and what you're trying to accomplish, and what's the essential things that you will use in order to get that done, just to get it produced. And I'm doing it as well. This podcast, this episode series is part of that journey, and this book that is coming out that I'll talk about in another episode. My ponderings on that. That's also going to be done this fall. Maybe I'll give a date on that episode, but giving dates are scary, and I'll share why later. But anyway, this is Pondering on a Patio, and thanks for pondering with me. Let me know what you think, and talk to you soon.